I have been bartending at the same little dive for about 6 years. It is not much to look at, just wood panel walls, a couple neon beer signs, and a jukebox that only works when it wants to. We have our regulars. The same faces every week. Some loud, some quiet, some who talk your ear off until closing. And then there was Harold. Harold Cooper was a man in his mid-50s with a salt and pepper beard and tired blue eyes. He always wore the same brown jacket no matter the season. He would come in every single Friday night at exactly 9 p.m., take the same seat at the far end of the bar and order a whiskey neat. No ice, no conversation. Just a small nod when I set the glass in front of him. It became part of my own routine. I did not even need to ask his order. Some nights I would glance at the clock at 8:59 and already see his shadow through the frosted glass on the front door. By the time the second hand hit 12, he would be stepping inside. He never stayed past midnight, and he never brought anyone with him. He would sip his drink, maybe 2 if the night was slow, then place a few bills on the counter and leave without a word. One Friday, I noticed something different. Harold looked wrong. His skin was pale, almost gray, and there was this strange heaviness in his eyes. They did not seem focused on me or anything in the bar. He only stayed for one drink before leaving. No nod of thanks, no glance back at the door. Just gone. The following Friday, I kept glancing at the clock. 9 o'clock came and went. By 9:15, I knew something was off. In 6 years, Harold had never missed a Friday. I told myself maybe he was sick or visiting family, but it left an odd feeling in my gut all night. The next day, one of the older customers who knew Harold came in. He had a folded piece of newspaper in his hand. He did not say anything, just slid it across the bar. It was an obituary. Harold Cooper. The picture was unmistakable. Same salt and pepper beard, same jacket. The words underneath said he had died in a car accident. The date made my stomach turn. He had died 1 year ago, on a Friday night. My first thought was that it had to be a mistake. Maybe it was his twin. Maybe the obituary was old. I even asked the man who brought it in when Harold passed. He just looked at me like I had lost my mind and said, "We buried him last year." That night I was closing up alone. The bar was quiet, just the hum of the old fridge and the faint rattle of a beer sign in the wind outside. I was wiping down the counter when I felt the air change. Not colder exactly, but heavier, like the silence had thickened. I glanced toward the far end of the bar. The seat was empty, but there was a glass sitting there. A whiskey neat. The strange part was I had not poured it. I walked over slowly. The ice in the glass was already melting, and there was a faint ring of condensation around the base, like it had been sitting there for a while. That was when I noticed something on the bar top, just under the glass. A folded $5 bill, damp from the condensation. And it was old. The kind of bill they stopped printing years ago. I did not touch it. I just left it there, locked the doors, and went home. The next Friday, I told myself I would not look at the clock. I would not glance toward that seat. But right at 9 p.m., without meaning to, my eyes shifted toward the far end of the bar. The seat was empty, but the smell of whiskey lingered in the air.